to kind of go over Yoga Nidra, what it is. It translates to yogic sleep because we're going into the brainwave as if we're asleep. And so that is called the theta brainwave. Normally our thinking brain and even our daydreaming brain, that we fluctuate more or less between alpha and beta as we go throughout the days. That's what they're called. And it's, you can tell it just because, you know, you're aware of time, you're thinking, you're deciding, you're worrying. Those are all different signs of the normal brainwave that we get into. But you know, like you get into theta every time you sleep. And so you've been there for sure. The difference with Yoga Nidra is that we're getting there while we're still consciously awake. And so what that does is it makes it very powerful because we can access some of the subconscious stuff. We can bring it to the surface, and any little spots of the subconscious that are no longer serving us, it gives it a chance, an opportunity to clear out if that's what's in our highest good today. And so in order to get that deep, there's different layers that we go through in the meditation. You'll be more and more aware of the first stuff just because you'll still be in that alpha beta. So the first couple are the physical body. It's what we're most aware of all the time as we go throughout our day. So we'll be relaxing each and every part of our body. And then the next layer is the breath, and we'll continue to go deeper and deeper and deeper until eventually we've gotten to the fertile soils of the subconscious, is what we call it. And one of the most beautiful things of the Yoga Nidra meditation is that we take a sankalpa, a seed intention, and we plant it into those fertile soils. So it's not just clearing away the subconscious, but it's also starting to reprogram by giving it something that you do want to see grow. So for instance, if you feel like you've been living in a world of scarcity and you want to see more abundance, this is a great place to plant a sankalpa about abundance. Or sometimes we're working on health, or there's so many good things that we're working on all the time. And so this is the perfect opportunity to handpick the seed that we want to continue to see grow in our life, because that's exactly what we get to plant during this meditation. And so I like to mention this now because there's 2 points in the meditation where I say, mentally state your sankalpa 3 times now. And so I like to mention this so that you're not like getting to that state and you're like, whoa, I don't know what my sankalpa is. Like what's my heart's deepest intention? I don't really know. And so I like to give us time just to think about it, to start processing it before we head into it. Each time I do one of these monthly meditations, I select a different theme and I write a whole meditation about that theme. So sometimes that correlates absolutely perfectly with what your intention is. And so you can make your sankalpa about what mine is, but oftentimes it easily relates to something else too. So today the intention is a deeper kind of love. So this is like, it's not even just necessarily like a passionate or a romantic love, but trying to experience love deeper for all of humanity, deeper for ourselves, trying to find this higher connection with that type of love. And so if that naturally translates into your sankalpa, feel free to make a sankalpa about love. But that being said, say we're working on abundance. Abundance is a form of love from the universe blessing us. And health is a form of love because we love our bodies, we're taking care of it. And so it does naturally lend to kind of whatever intention you do have. Now, the way that we do the sankalpa, we state it in the present positive tense as if it's already happening. And it's just a short little sentence, maybe 2 sentences. We don't want it to be too long because then you have to try to think about it and remember it. So that can take us a little bit out of that theta brainwave, but make it something super easy and just your heart fills with joy every time you say it. So present positive tense would be something like, instead of, I use this example just because it's so easy for a lot of people, but there's a lot of people in the world that are working on losing weight. And so a sankalpa wouldn't be about what you're not wanting. So you wouldn't be like, I want to get rid of this in my life. Instead, it's present and positive. So what you do is you distill what your goal is down to its true essence, the why. Why do I have this goal? Why do I want this? And so for that weight example, health may be the reason why. I want to feel good as I go throughout my day. I want to be able to go to my mailbox and feel energized, feel like I can not be winded. And so health, if that's what your intention is, then you would create a beautiful sentence that just inspires you about health, such as, I am the very embodiment of health, or health just flows to me naturally, or whatever it is that makes you feel excited. And it's like, yes, absolutely. Like that is where I want to be. That's the kind of sankalpa that we would write about. Let's go ahead and start heading our way down onto our backs. Essentially the whole time we're in a shavasana shape, so just laying down comfortably. The more or less our goal is to try to not move the body as much as possible, because movement can take us out of that meditative state. But that being said, if you are just aching and uncomfortable in one area of your body and you just have to move in order to not be brought out of that meditation again, feel free to absolutely readjust. So some people may be much better if they're on their side in a fetal position, or just planting your feet might be the one thing that you need to do to be able to be in a stillness. So that being said, yeah, go ahead and readjust if needed. Make sure as you're relaxing onto your back, take a few moments to just scan through the body, making sure everything's in an okay place. Everything feels pretty good. Notice the muscles of the back just completely relaxing into the earth. Love. It has the ability to heal relationships, boost confidence, and make us better people. It could heal most of the world's problems overnight if we truly let it in. Not because of anything inherent in it, but because of the inability to take on low frequency actions while living at such a high frequency. Today, our journey is inward toward love. We begin our journey now by connecting with our sankalpa, our seed intention for this practice. The sankalpa should be stated in the present positive tense, as if it's already happening. It's already your version of reality. If you're not sure what your sankalpa should be, you could consider one along the lines of, I am the embodiment of perfect love. Whatever your sankalpa is today, bring it to mind and state it mentally 3 times now. From here, we dive deep into the body, where we plant seeds of love into all the systems of the physical body. Imagine as we travel around the body, we are planting grass seeds of love all over the body. With just a little bit of water, you'd quickly have sod growing. We start by planting seeds of love at the heart. Grabbing a handful of seeds, sprinkle them in a spiral emanating from the heart. The spiral eventually covers the entire chest in a beautiful circular motion. All the ribs, the collarbones, and even down to the belly and the navel. Shoulders sprinkled with seeds of love. Seeds continue to be poured down the right arm, the right elbow, right hand, palm, thumb, first finger, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, entire right arm. Seeds poured down the left arm, left elbow, left hand, palm, thumb, first finger, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, entire left arm. Seeds of love down the right hip, right leg, thigh, knee, shin, tops of the toes, and the foot, big toe, second, third, fourth, fifth, entire right leg, seeds of love down the left hip, thigh, knee, shin, top of foot, toes. Big toe. Second. Third. Fourth. Fifth. Entire left leg. Sprinkling seeds in a fun pattern all over the face, the neck, the jaw, cheeks, lips, nose, ears, forehead, eyes, the entire face. The entire body. Sprinkling water all over the body. Imagine the seeds taking root and growing a plant of love, like a big blanket, all over your body. Notice sensations, almost like little tingles of love, growing all over you. Wishing to have the back half of the body covered as well, imagine flipping over and pouring seeds of love over the backside of the chest, the ribs, other muscles of the back. The backside of the shoulders and the shoulder blades. The backside of the right arm. Down to the elbow. Down to the wrist. And all over the backside of the hand. Entire right arm. Seeds down the backside of the left arm. Down to the elbow. Down to the wrist. And on to the backside of the left hand. Entire left arm. Seeds of love down the right glute. Right thigh. Back of the knee. Calf. And the bottom of the right foot. Entire right leg. Seeds of love down the left glute. Left thigh. Back of knee. Calf. Bottom of foot. Entire left leg. Backside of neck. Backside of the head in an intricate pattern across the scalp. Entire head. Entire body. Sprinkling water now all over the body. Imagine the seeds taking root and growing a plant of love like a big blanket all over your body. Notice sensations almost like little tingles of love growing all over you. As the body feels extremely relaxed, imagine that in your hands you're holding a cup of a very warm liquid. Maybe you imagine it as a tea, as hot chocolate, or as another desirable beverage. This is a beverage that brings you right back to your childhood, back to a happy place where you feel complete, whole, and loved. It's a beverage that represents love to you. Now, over the next several breaths, imagine that with your inhale, you are inviting in the smell of the delicious, loving beverage. And with your exhale, you gently blow out of the mouth, imagining that you're helping to cool the beverage down. Inhale, long, deep smell. Exhale, cool the beverage down. Inhale, smell love. Exhale, cooling. Inhale, invite love in. Exhale, cooling. A few more breaths, just like that. Three more deep, wonderful breath cycles. And after this next exhale completes, imagine that your beverage is cool enough to sip on. Bringing your lips to the cup, take a good, long sip of the beverage of love. Feel your body becoming warmer. You're getting heated from the inside out. But it's not just a heat from your stomach. Your heart feels warm, and it's helping you experience warmth all over. Warm core. Warm arms and legs. Warm fingertips. Warm nose. Feel warmth all over your body. And releasing that feeling, focus on the long, cooling breath of the exhale. Imagine when you focus on the exhale now, you're getting to experience your core temperature drop. It's not just a physical thing. You feel yourself reverting back to old patterns of loneliness. And you realize you feel cold when you feel lonely. When it feels like no one in the world loves you, you feel cold. Experience cold in the body now. Now invite in both sensations into the body at the same time. Body warm from love and body cold from lack of love. Both at the same time. Body warm and cold at the same time. Body warm and cold. Warm and cold together. Releasing the sensations of temperature altogether, begin now to feel very empty in your heart space. It's like an empty cupboard with nothing but dust and cobwebs. Feel tremendously empty. Feel like a lack of energy translates as emptiness in the heart. Now open up to the opposite emotion of fullness. Imagine full cupboards in the heart space. A full cup. An overflowing cup. Abundance in the heart space. Heart completely full. And try to experience both emptiness and fullness in the body at the exact same time. Heart empty and heart overfull. Both together in the same moment. Heart empty and heart spacious together. Next, imagine meeting a stranger who is compassionless. This person has so much of their own stuff going on that they will make huge demands out of you without even asking. And they will demand what they want, whether it's in your best interest in that moment or not. Imagine they're judging. They're unforgiving. Their heartless nature. Experience compassionlessness. Then imagine meeting a stranger who is full of compassion. Meeting their gaze, you feel at the soul level that this person meets you right where you're at. They take the time to understand you, and they have complete, unrestrained, unconditional, compassionate love toward you. They don't care how imperfect you are. You know that they absolutely love you. Receive their love fully now. Now take a moment to try to experience what it feels like to receive compassion and the opposite of compassion at the same time. Compassion and judgment. Compassion and unforgiving. Compassion full of heart and uncompassion full of ego. Compassion and its hateful opposite at the same time within your body and your emotions now. Now take a moment to release all of that. Feel yourself prepared to experience a deeper kind of love than ever before. Imagine sitting or laying in a sacred circle. See the human beings who are joining you in this circle. Friends and acquaintances who have the highest hopes for the world held firmly in their hearts. Imagine being in this circle, taking in the sights, the sounds, the smells. Notice if you're laying down, sitting, or even standing. Are you in stillness or movement like a dance? Is there silence or music? What time of the day is it? Is there anything at the center of the circle? How many people make up the circle? Now, as you feel yourself settling comfortably into this sacred circle, let's imagine giving your body, emotions, mind, and spirit the opportunity to raise in frequency. Imagine we have a scale where 1 is the most sad anyone in the world has ever felt, and 10 is the most enlightening and full of love anyone in the world has ever felt. Let's say we start at 1 and work our way up to 10. Just by giving ourselves permission to raise in frequency, it will begin to happen now. 1, the level of guilt and shame. 2, the level of apathy and grief. 3, the level of fear and desire. 4, the level of anger and pride. 5, the level of courage and neutrality. 6, the level of willingness and acceptance. 7, the level of reason and love. 8, the level of joy. 9, the level of peace. 10, the level of enlightenment. Feel this level on as many levels of existence as possible. Know that this is you living at that level right now. At this level, you realize that love isn't like matter. Matter can't be created or destroyed. If you cut a cookie dough ball of matter in half, you have 2 balls that are half as big. Love isn't like that. You begin to realize that when you split love into 2, each part is just as whole as the original. So feeling a great desire to receive a blessing, feel yourself now reach into your heart and split your love into 2 pieces. 1 piece you keep in your heart space. As soon as you place this piece back into your heart, it immediately fills the space back up with love. With the piece that you split off, you see in your mind's eye another version of you created from your love. Perhaps you see this as a physical person, or perhaps it's more like a spirit creation taking on a beautiful color that represents pure love. And when you have that second version of you, You give that version the responsibility to be a blessing to you. He or she can stay with you always, holding your hand, giving your spirit guidance, or even just being present with you. Feel this beautiful, pure being now giving you a blessing. Perhaps placing a hand on your head, or your shoulder, or your heart. Hear the words of this blessing that is pronounced upon you. Feel your whole being receiving this blessing. Feel yourself upgraded to yet a higher level of existence. Soak it all in. Having experienced that blessing, you feel desires for all those in your sacred circle to have a piece of you, giving them a blessing as well. Reaching into your heart, imagine dividing your love in half to create another being. And with each being that is created, the original piece never shrinks in size. If anything, it's growing larger. So create a version of you to stay as a guide and as a blessing to all the people in the sacred circle. And once they're created, they split off from you. See them go be a guide and a blessing to the others in the circle. See them giving love in various ways, that these people wish to receive love, with a touch of the hand, with words, with presence, with more. And having felt this, you can't help but feel more excitement. You continue to split off more and more of yourself to give others a blessing as well. Eventually, you'll have created these beings to be with everyone in the city, everyone in the country, everyone in the world. See yourself giving love to everyone in the ways that they want to receive love. And see all the variety of forms that love may take on. How love looks and feels slightly differently to everyone. Through this experience, you feel your understanding of love being upgraded. And now you can say the following and completely mean it. I love you, even if you can't always love me the way I've always wanted to be loved. I love you without needing any sort of reciprocation. I love you just because I want to. I love you because I am love. I love you because in loving you, I receive so much more than I give. I love you because you are the world. I love you because you are divine. I love you unconditionally. I live for loving you. I live by love. I inhale love. I exhale love. I am love. I am the embodiment of love. I am love taking in love. I am love experiencing love. And notice how this feels now. From here, you look out and see yourself serving all of humanity, completely loving everyone, only wishing to serve everyone. Without ever asking for it, in one moment, all the versions of you suddenly look back to you. With their gaze on you, you begin to feel love beyond anything you can possibly imagine. Billions of entities purely looking to you and loving you simply because they want to, for no other reason than that. Feel this kind of love. Receive this love. Become this love. Being completely absorbed into this state of love, allow yourself to plant your sankalpa, your heart's deepest desire, into these fertile soils that we've uncovered here today. Bring your sankalpa to mind and state it 3 times in the present positive tense now. You wish you could remain in this state forever. But you know that service is the deepest desire of your heart. And in order to serve people best, you must return back to your physical body. So begin to take a deep breath here. Start to introduce tiny movements back to the body. Very, very small at first. And gradually these movements get larger, moving up through fingers and toes, eventually through ankles and wrists, and continuing to gradually get larger until eventually, several breaths from now, you're stretching as if you're waking up first thing in the morning. At some point, you may feel ready to take a nice fetal position off to one side. And take several more breaths to continue to come back to the body. We're in no rush at all. In another 3 or 4 breaths, you may feel ready to come up to a comfortable seated place. And as we're here sitting up tall, feel your spine starting to get its strength back. Feel your breath going deep into the belly. And with our hands joining together in front of the heart, let's seal that wonderful seed that we planted, watering it, fertilizing it, giving it sunlight with a sound of a tremendous Om right here, right now. Taking a deep breath together. And as we travel forward, may we continue to be filled with light and happiness and peace and love. Namaste.